Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of our Langrisser mobile series. And we are now live, so at least there is no 5 minutes delay.
Oh no, I hope he don't show my games. I like Joshua vs me though.
Future Bakira, yes,
Bakira
I am
Monk
back,
ass.
I am here.
I have a team of Bracer.
Oh no, Dango, you just revealed your strategy. So, we are now live. We have played our matches against Absol. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing my AoE thing. I have noticed that boxes lately have included more and more long-legged characters, which is basically my biggest fear. So props to everyone countering me so hard. So I was lucky that I was able to ban Claret and Mystery Knight because damn, those hurt.
Yeah, well played, Bakira.
Thank you, Dango. We are now going to try to do some replays. However, 1 second. I don't have access to all the replays. We're gonna catch some of them though. I'm gonna start with Group N.
Joshua OP.
And Joshua is really strong, especially on people that don't have like immunity to fixed damage. That's just so brutal. And Joshua Princess, my god. I have one-shotted Rachel's with the Magic Eye, by the way. That's also why I brought it, because if you could land that one first, then it's basically over. Like, one character is already dead. So, I'm gonna try to cast the games from the groups N and L. Those are the ones that kinda belong to me, and I'm trying to cover them as much as I can. However, it's really complicated to get the games, to cast the games. What I'm gonna try today, and I hope everyone enjoys, because it's the first time I do it, is to quick cast them. So I will be more like a commentator. No, not a commentator. A caster, like in football, you know, like where games are just fast and there's no time to explain what people are thinking. I will not pause the games. This is my goal. So if I can get as much information as possible in time whenever the matches go, I will try to do so. I hope this also helps us speed up how many replays we have to go through, and that it's also entertaining enough for everyone to watch. I will start with the Group N matches who have just completed.
I have all chars, except AKA and Brenda.
Nice sidekick, congratulations. Well, you gotta wait until tomorrow. Group N has currently finished their first round, and Newbie and Meat have had their second game already. So I'm gonna try to cast this first by watching Seoi, Gal, and Newbie, I believe, hero cards. So let's start with that. Is this correct? Yes, this is correct. And let's see, cross server.
Sounds like Big Whale to me. As F2P I am missing a lot of them.
Big Eye, Dennis, Seoi. So I have requested that they put the replays here in the heroic moments, and there we go. So, damn. Okay, so for the next matches, you know what? It's pointless. Everyone knows the results. So I'm just gonna go through the matches. We know that Seoi wins both matches, which is a bit of a spoiler. You know what? I could try to hide it next time, so at least you don't know. I will give it a shot later. Let's see how it goes for now. Alright, and here we go. Seoi versus Meat, game number 1. The bans start right away. Land use is banned immediately, and then the opponent bans the opponent's land use. You know what? I'm going to stop the text to speech for a while. We're gonna do this because it's gonna go through everything else. Someone also clicked the follow, so thank you very much, Yoseu, for the follow. The match is already on. Both land uses are banned. Zerida has been picked as the first counter. The dog shows up in order to try to catch as many hits as possible. A Listel is picked up to counter the doggo, and immediately a Claret will threaten every opponent's units. I think the Claret heal will have a very good time unless Luna is there to prevent that she gets too close to the action. I think still without a tank, Claret will do very good deal of damage in this game. More healers are banned. It seems like we're not gonna go with any healers on the right side. Maybe a Liana will be picked in order to have a first turn Claret, then boosted with an again. That's exactly what we see. On the opponent's side, that we see a Tiaris has been picked, and Luna is ready to be boosted by this Tiaris, or boost Zerida, who could then go forward and try to kill something. And Chloe ends up aiding into the countering the Listel of the right side, while in the end a Rachel is picked on the right side to top off the magical damage possibilities. On the first turn, we immediately see that there's a faction buff and wind buffet, a wing god buff used by Luna right away, giving away that the person is going to fall back and stay safe. So Meat is trying to create some space between him and Claret. However, Claret is in a very strong forward position and currently, and again, would probably lead to a kill of any of the characters that are in range. If not needed, then Claret will always stay as a forward opposing control check unit so that it cannot be stopped. Do we have an again? No, we have a Gospel, and the Gospel is also equally strong, especially with the Teddy Bear. Oh my god, the surprises by Seui. The Teddy Bear is gonna allow that Claret to have 3 turns of very specific buffs, including no debuffs, which is huge. The Wind buff is lost by Luna. This means that Zerida can no longer reach everywhere in the map. Very slow advance. If we turn on the danger zone, we're going to be able to see that Zerida is not able to reach the opponent units yet, other than that Listel. However, if we know Listels are invulnerable to fixed damage, and they survive Zeridas with no problem. This probably means that the match is over, as this Zerida is going to get destroyed, and what's even worse, it's going to reset the cooldowns for Claret, and Claret is going to be able, with and again, to reach the entire screen. So even though there's a Reaper's Touch, it doesn't really prevent the again to be given. The Reaper's Touch does nothing, especially because there is still the Miracle, the Gospel given with 3 turns, which comes in extremely handy right now. Seui is taking his time, making sure that there's nothing that can go wrong with this plan. Uses the act again on Claret, and Claret is now ready to kill literally everyone on the map. The AoE was used by Chloe to prevent that fixed damage goes from Listel on everyone. However, Claret is able to use her double turns. Oh, not even. Makes sure that they get the kill without the use of the special skill. And this way, they trade 2 characters for 1, which is already insanely strong. Now with the Touch of Death on Tiaris, it's only a matter of time until the match is over, especially because there's nothing they will be able to do against this Listel. There are heals enough to bring her back to full, and what's more important, there's nothing that Tiaris can do in order to prevent her damaging his teammates when hitting or being hit. So Tiaris tries to hit Rachel with the purpose of slowing her down, but it's not going to be enough. Rachel goes, damages Chloe. Chloe is also going to take some damage from Healing Light, and Listel makes sure that the match is over for the opponent. There's still Tiaris, there's still Aluna, but Juggler is there to cover the entirety of the units, of the heroes that are still remaining. It's only a matter of time until we see maybe even the kill from Listel, or actually from Rachel just securing the final kill on this. Alright, it seems like Listel is going to be able to clean up. Meat doesn't give up until the very last moment, but the very last moment is now here, as Beast Shock makes sure that the match 1 is over. And here we are. Alright. Let's go for the second match. We know it's another Seoi win, but I'm gonna make sure that the next time you won't be able to see what we see, or what I know. Let's see. It starts directly with a Landius ban from both sides, as Landius is still one of the most hated tanks in the game, except by me. I don't care about Landius. Juggler is picked immediately. This map is full of water tiles, and water tiles just make Juggler even more tanky. Juggler goes on both sides. There's an immediate Listel ban on the left side, so we will see if we get a Listel pick on the right side. A Joshua comes to the aid with ninjutsu. It's possible to go through water terrain like it's nothing, and Omega gets threatened on the right side because there's still possibilities to give this Omega enough power to destroy everything. Omega is a dark type and also a meteor, so here only Bozzle will be able to give a faction buff, and there we go. There's now an Omega and a Bozzle on the same side, which would spell doom to anyone that knows this combo already. Bozzle is picked on the left side, however Bozzle has very short legs compared to an Omega. I only see Joshua being the stopping force of this, but with the Iris picked over there, I do not see a way to stop Omega from just rampaging through everything that is in sight. If Joshua falls to Omega, there is literally no one to stop to stop Omega from killing everyone over the amount of turns remaining. So it will be a matter of it will be turned into a positioning game where both opponents will try to see if they can stay outside of the range of the main threats and still being able to advance and get closer to move their game forward. However, Seoi counts with one very, very special tool, actually two. One of them is Luna, which not only does it propel Omega forward, so he may not even need to use Cold Blood, but also Jardin the Iris is able to teleport anyone forward just to the point where they can basically allow anyone to get a hit in. Omega decides that it's just time to delete Bozel. Of course, with the amount of skill that Omega has, he's able to ignore the armor immediately. Another thing that could have been done is that with Luna's Presence of the Wind God Realm buff, Omega could have walked forward with the extra steps and also backwards with the extra steps once the turn was over after attacking. A Juggler pretends to make a difference by moving forward, however Omega once again just moves ahead and decides to delete more people. And as we mentioned, if your team is not based on long legs, you cannot allow a character like Omega to exist in the game against you. It's one of the first bans that you have to take care of. Claret, at the very least, even if her legs are extremely, extremely long, you can tank. And someone like Omega, you just cannot tank. So you cannot allow Omega under any circumstance if your plan is to move slowly. A black hole here would do very little other than spam debuffs on the opponent. One of them is a heal down, and the silence comes in for Joshua. At this point, I don't think there's any hope for Meat to go through. Even though there's a Thorns proc and no silence, Juggler dies. Juggler was already hurt, and there's not even a counter that can be done on Luna to get the kill. Sword Soul comes in from Elwyn, but in water, even if you dispel the water buff, this is still a water fight, no matter what you do. So Omega makes sure to break all the dreams of Meat in order to try to win this match. Omega goes back into position, gives even a little bit of Royal Blessing, and the match is over. The one pick taking Seoi all the way through the win. Okay, so in order to prevent disclosing the results of the matches that we're gonna watch next, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click here. I'm gonna find the next person that we're gonna cast. I think the name was Gaal. If you guys see Gaal, there we go, Gaal. So I'm gonna check the name card. Yeah, I hope it's gonna be here. But what I'm gonna do is turn off this screen. Oh, that's a lie. Turn off this screen. Haha, now you cannot see anything, but I do. Okay, so now that you do not know the results, we can go into this match and off we go. You didn't get to see who won this match. So we have Gaal on the left and Mr. Bo on the right. Juggler is the first ban from the opponent. That totally points towards a rush strategy. Landius being banned on the right points towards a tank push strategy for sure. Landius is the first pick and immediately gets rid of Leonhard. There's a fear there of a Leonhard being too strong, and there's also a ban on the Mystic Knight. Mystic Knight with unicorns able to move through terrain through the center of this map with absolutely no problem. Delita gets picked immediately as a follow-up since there is no Landius on the right side, and if there is also no tank, then what is the fear? The Leonhard pick on the right together with an Iris indicate that there could be an attack coming at any moment, so there's a chance that we'll see either an again picked here by Gaal, or simply enough good counter attacks that will make it sure that the opponent cannot do anything after the first explosion with Leonhard. There is even a Joshua being picked in order to get faction buff to every one of the units being picked on the right side, and a Tiaris makes sure that whomever will attack on the left side will probably get the kill. Either Yusuke by getting a 10 million range attack in with attack blessing, or Zerida just being her normal seraph and destroying everyone. A Julia pick on the right side, it goes against everything that we have been seeing because this is a very short leg character, but a Rachel pick makes sure that there could be a little bit of extra reach going in the fights, especially with Runic Void, the 3C. I keep having to drink water because I have to say this is very hard to do, but we are doing this with all the love that we can. A Gospel makes sure that Julia is in no danger anytime soon and can also punch eventually people really good. There is a Starbright Sonata coming in for the characters that we have mentioned, and there will be a Jardin of Iris teleporting Leonhard forward. The question is, who will he be able to hit? Or, oh, in an amazing and astounding change of plans, Iris has teleported forward Julia. Let's see if there's something that the opponent can do out of this. The positioning, I have to say, of Landius is still very much on point. So Zerida goes back, decides that even if Landius dies or gets stuck because of Godly Menace, she will be able to take care of some other people. That is a shame. The Blood Shield comes in right in the nick of time in order to prevent the first death of Landius. And then there will be a counter from the side of Zerida attacking Julia. Julia, however, as is usual, does not die, refuses to die, and however, without extra heals, this may not be a good choice. I have to disagree with the attempt to heal here. I think Julia would die immediately, and if this is a silence on Leonhard, you may have wasted your one opportunity. Julia is not going to survive anything anyway, but hey, the opportunity is in. Leonhard is able to attack and dispel as many things as he can, even with the secondary AoE from the teleport, able to hit some good units. Fails at getting the heal, which is fine, and then tries to use the machete to get some stuns going. However, no stuns were landed. I think I would have chosen something different, like for example trying to kill Yusuke, because that would have been an amazing option. And then Julia gets traded down and killed by Yusuke himself. Yusuke heals because at any point he does anything, he heals, and then gets deleted by Joshua, taking advantage of the positioning of the tower. Yaris lands a single heal because she's not having any more AoE heals, and then Runic Void, as we mentioned before, touches Zerida to the point where she dies. A clock! A clock is an amazing difference maker here for player 2, who is now able to just cast Runic Void once again, this time hitting every other character, and goes directly for it, having the first turn since one of his characters died before it could act. It was Julia in this case. The damage goes in, however, Tiaris tries to cancel this by healing herself, and then cleansing some of the debuffs on everyone else. Actually, no cleanse. Iris decides that it's too risky to move forward without some proper heals, so goes back. There's still always the danger that Bozel will do some real damage, but the fixed damage by Rachel goes in. I have to say, I'm very surprised that he decided to move back with Joshua, because I think another attack may have been key in order to get the win. I think the main fear was the silence, which actually did happen. And then, oh my god, that is a dead Rachel. She was not able to move because of the debuffs. And that points once again that if you start attacking but your healers are still up, you cannot let go. You must go forward at all points. If Iris had been in range to heal that Rachel, she would not have died to that simple attack. At that point, you can even throw forward your Iris without any fear, and as long as she gets the heal in, it does not matter if she gets killed, by, for example, by Landius. So it would have been an amazing way to go. They try to recoup in the back with Joshua and Iris. However, I have to say, I don't see how Joshua is able to kill two characters while the enemy Tiaris is still up. So I don't see this match going too further. Gal is under no pressure, so he has the number superiority, he has the AoE superiority, even the faction buffs are all there, the tranquility is also there, and Joshua has already moved, so there's literally no danger for Gal right now. He's controlling the middle of the scene, he's able to do more AoEs as well, so this will only end in a bad result for Mr. Bo. An attack from Bozel, which is a little bit surprising because it puts him a little bit in danger, however Healing Light comes through. And ooh, secret tech, Bozel with a bracer. That's very strong. Cardin the Iris tries to pull Joshua away from being hit by any of the characters immediately. However, I have to say I don't see much future for this. There will be a little bit of a heal, that's very good. However, it won't be enough. Iris gets targeted as she's currently the one keeping the game going. And the second hit by Bozel will be the end of this. Joshua is still the only person alive, but oh my god, even the silence comes through. Joshua suicides and Mr. Bo takes the loss. I have to turn off the screen again because I don't want you guys to see how game 2 goes. So the first game goes to Gal. Congratulations to him. Watch the second one. Here we go again. So, Gal and Mr. Bo, same positions. Let's see if there are some learnings. Bo decides that Juggler is still the bigger threat. I agree. I always agree. Juggler is always the biggest threat. Land use is picked immediately. The right side, we'll see how he responds. They don't want anything to do with Mystery Knight, so that's fine. Also, they ban the Iris in order to prevent any surprise listels on turn 1, for example. Double Leonhard. This is so strong. Every time two Leonhards meet, the person who hits the AoE first is usually the one in advantage. However, there's a counter pick from Mr. Bo of Leon to make sure that wherever Leonhard wants to teleport, he won't be able to hit easily. Also, in a map like this, Leonhard is not able to carry the normal troops that he usually uses, the horses, because they would slow him down in the center of the field. I also see that there's no special support for Leonhard on the left side. However, Weiler is capable of using Strengthen, and that may just be enough for a Leonhard. On the right side, we finally see a pickup of Landius. I'm surprised that Landius did not get banned on the way. Another way to use Leonhard is to find the reach by using one of the line skills, the only line skill, and then on the second turn using the 2-range air slash in order to get a kill. If there's no tank, this is one of the best ways to use Leonhard that for sure lands you 1 kill or more. Faction buffs come in as the game starts to develop. There is 2 factions mainly on the left side of attackers, one Zerida, one Leonhard. And on the right side, this buff on Leon basically says, if you get close to me, I am going to punch you somehow. However, of course, there's nothing to surprise the opponent in the positioning of Leon, so it won't be possible to just go through. Oh my god, this is the surprise. There is a breeze on Leon, but it won't be enough because there was just right now and again on Zerida, which will indicate the death of someone on the right side. The chosen target is Joshua. Joshua disappears, no matter if you have last rights, doesn't matter if you have anything at all. If Zerida decides that you have to die, that's exactly what you do. There's a shame here that the attack blessing does not remain on Leon. However, he was able still to find a position to get a kill. And with the AoE range sword, he was able to marble everything up. But oh my god, is that unlucky. This Leonhard is now in a prime position to kill anything. So Mr. Bo will have to regroup and find a position to not explode. However, there's still a Leon to take care of back home, so Leonhard decides to go for it. Procs a clock on the extra range attack, it makes absolutely no difference. Weiler, once again, showing his talent of being able to heal from basically anywhere in the battlefield. Leon falls, there is no follow-up to his chivalry, and soon we will see if Leonhard is able to turn around this game. The question will be, will it be able to kill Zerida? That is basically it. If he goes for Weiler, I think that would be a mistake. Weiler right now would only benefit the opponent. There we go. Zerida is the target chosen. Zerida is now dead, and Leonhard was able to take her down. However, he immediately trades with the other Leonhard and ends up in a situation where it's healer versus tank +1. This cannot be good. There will only be one opportunity for an attack to go through, and that will be when the defense is down. However, even through an attack blessing, there's nothing that Mr. Bo can do to break the disparity between the defense. Especially because his Leonhard, the left Leonhard, also has the Royal Cavalries. So even though he takes the first life, it's still not enough for a kill. Actually, you know what? I could be mistaken here. There comes the first AoE. However, there is no follow-up because his... I think this was a mistake. But Tiaris gets hurt a lot. Will Tiaris be safe? Oh my god, why is Tiaris attacking? What is going on? Oh, that was a mistake. That was a huge mistake. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, Landius is dead. However, I do not know if this will make a difference. Yeah, especially if this person is able to just teleport away. The damage taken will be very much lower. What a crazy match. It's jumping one side on the other. At this point, I think I have forgotten who won the match itself. So Landius gets hit. A lot of damage goes into it because of the troops that Leonhard still has. And please remember, Leonhard is a swordsman. So if those troops die, which they didn't, that would have been huge. However, as long as those troops they will deal some very real damage to Landius. Even though Landius gets a little bit of healing here, I think it is over. I have to say, I am not okay with the attack that happened at the end from Tiaris on Landius. That was pretty much not necessary. It could have gone longer. Also, as a second player character, maybe he would have considered going the 12 turns for the win. However, this was the choice, and the choice may have been a mistake. It's, however, perfectly fine because we don't know what was going on in everyone's head. GG's for Gal going 2-0 in his first round and go to the next matches. So next up we have a lot of messages. Maybe I'll read some. Anything is happening. Frutilla probably says hello. Yeah, that's nice. You know what? We can publish ourselves. I'm streaming in Spanish. Players offline. I don't even get to shame them. Alright, we go back to the matches, and next up we have Newbie somewhere. Newbie. If anyone sees Newbie, please let me know. Yo. Newbie maybe in my server? Is that even possible? I don't think so, right? Rutija is online. What is this game saying? Yeah, some people have been offline for so long. That is very true. I did not see Newbie. This is what's gonna happen now? Newbie is not Rhaegar, right? Nope, that's a shame. Let's go back here. Maybe we can catch this on time. On Newbie, please befriend me. Ira in Rhaegar. Let's see if Newbie answers in time. Then maybe we can even watch more matches. So in the meantime, while we wait to see if anyone answers with even more matches to replay, how did you find this in Salrath? Okay, so how did you find this fast casting? Is it fun? Is it entertaining? What am I doing here? Salrath. Invitation sent. Happens. So how do you find this fast casting? Is it fun to watch? Is it a little bit too crazy? Should I stop the action? Maybe once every turn? You don't have to add him to see the hero card. Oh my god, you're a genius, Dennis Peak. You are absolutely correct. I knew I asked this for a reason. It's just it completely went off. So how do we go finding this person? The ranking makes no sense. You know what? It was right there. So when I said this, add friend. So we go to Salrath, we say Newbie. Here, and we check. Yes, this is exactly what we wanted. Frozen, you can search him up, you can see the hero card. That's very true. people have mentioned, oh my god, no, nobody saw that. So there were 4 matches, and I don't want to spoil them for you. So we do this again. And heroic moment, here we go. Newbie fights 2 different opponents. He already has basically two matches in. So we will start with the first one that is from Monday indeed. And now I can turn this on, and here we go. Newbie on the left, Jerk on the right. Zerida as the first ban. That sounds like a respect ban or a fearful ban. Landius gets banned immediately on the right side and picked on the left side. I hate Landius so very much. However, I have made my entire team so that Landius is completely ignorable from me. Landius pick on the left, Juggler pick on the right, always making sure that there's a tank there if you're gonna have a tank push strategy or a tank strategy itself. EA assisting on the left in order to sneak in a kill or maybe even put the strong debuff on Juggler that makes him kill himself very, very slowly. Luna support on the right in order to move further up more and also to get the faction buff from Juggler, which is a very strong combo. I seem to have gotten the friend request accepted from Newbie, however it's already too late. We are watching your matches already, which is exciting. A Yusuke on the right, which can buff himself and support everyone else by watching them die and becoming stronger. And on the left we have an Iris who could make anyone very, very dangerous, and a Luna who would allow many people to move forward and be very, very destructive. A Bozel supports on the right and the left, so actually Bozel one of the most picked characters throughout the series because of his ability to debuff basically everything. And finally a second... Is that a second healer? No, it's the first healer on the right, which in this case has the ability to dispel from an extremely long range. That's a very, very good way to counter whatever Bozel has to throw on you. Some breeze triggers may already mark the danger of the left side being able to be player 1 and have the first act again. Very slow movements moving forward, only to offer the faction buffs back up. I do not know. I guess there's a mass resist on Iris in order to provide... Oh my god, what is this craziness? Oh, it's the 6 move strategy. Oh my god, that's just so crazy. So the way this strategy works is that you basically bring the 3C and the 2C wind spiral, and you're able to move 6 extra tiles. This could surprise basically anyone at this point, and as you can see, it can absolutely get you a kill. And it seems like Newbie was perfectly okay trading Luna for... Yusuke was the kill? No, who died on the right side? I even missed it as I was getting excited by the action. Let me guess who is missing. I already forgot. Oh my god, that's so bad that I already forgot. Hiei is closing in. That means there's gonna be a debuff on Luna. Kill Luna. Thank you very much. Luna for Luna is a good trade when you are expecting the enemy Luna to be in a stronger position. EA is here going to be showing his dragon and also the very strong ability that it's basically Listel's debuff except permanent, because you cannot dispel it. So here we go, Hydra Force. Ooh, that's a good data to know. There is no extreme magic bow. Fist of the Mortal Flame applied on Juggler. Juggler begins very slowly to kill himself. Even though there could be a dispel, there's nothing he can do. There is a regroup, but is this even useful? Because with an AoE, Bozel can secure how much damage goes on the opponent. And now there's even an extra turn. Haha, an extra turn on Juggler, who cannot do anything with what just happened. So Newbie wins game number 1 thanks to Hiei positioning and trading that Luna for another Luna. I'm gonna turn this off shortly, so we go back here. No spoilerinos for you guys. And we go to match number 2. Jerk on the left side, player 1 this time. Newbie on the right side, ready to go again. Ban on Landius is currently the meta for many people. Landius is easily one of the most annoying characters to deal with if you don't have the right tools, or if you cannot bypass him basically. And he can even win later in the game if he's sufficiently strong, if whatever is remaining on the opponent's side is not strong enough. 2 jugglers being picked already in a map that favors Juggler greatly because of the ability to move through any type of terrain, and also the amount of defensive percentage. I can't speak. extra defense tiles. There we go. Claret on the left, Luna on the right. Luna once again being able to be faction buffed by Juggler if so desired. She could even go all the way with the 6 moves again, with the extra 6 moves again, while having faction buff, which would basically kill almost everything, except of course the Juggler. However, if Jerk has learned anything from this, is to activate Juggler's water defense on the first turn rather than a faction buff. So we're gonna see probably much better positioning now, knowing what the enemy is capable of. I have seen the strategy before of the 6 moves. However, I've never been hit by it, so it was really good to watch it in a match and learn about it. So there is a Diahate, so there is now a new source of faction buff for newbies, Luna, and it will be interesting to see who, if not both of them, carrying the faction buff. Sorry. At this point, I think Diahate can basically pick anyone in the map and just destroy them. Diahate having one of the strongest combo kills, so to speak. So what Jerk chooses to do is to offer a sacrificial pawn in order to stop Diahate from destroying everyone. However, with Luna in the picture, movement speed seems not to be the problem. Maybe pause to see everyone's skill before the battle starts. No, Dennis Peak. This is part of the surprise. Iris moves moves Diahate forward. Someone is dead. The question is, who does newbie want to pick? He can basically go shopping. A strike allows him to get closer, and let's see who is the target. It is a Claret. If there is a move again, there's 5 tiles that Diahate could move backwards. So maybe that will be the choice of turn. Free will gets triggered and goes back to safety. Yusuke, a little bit late, reacts with an Erupt, and he will be transformed for the turns to come. However, Juggler is already in place and no longer will leave his friends unattended. Juggler on the left side tries to cover many more of the area, specifically the one tile where defense is plus 30, which you never want to leave to the opponent, especially close on your side. The archer decides to deal 20 damage in order to try to break the last right, but of course, self-healing capabilities of Juggler will not permit this. Diahate takes advantage of this and attacks the archer just with enough damage to poke on Juggler and test the defenses, test the grounds. However, there's no result out of that. Attack Blessing goes on Yusuke, who could threaten to try to one-shot the enemy Juggler. Luna goes in, attempts to apply the debuff of healing prevention, does not get it, uses the move back to go back to safety, and Thierry applies Miracle in order to provide even more attack up to all his units. Yusuke moves forward, goes with the attack blessing, goes for the punch, and falls completely short of getting a kill on Juggler because Juggler is still on water and maybe 1 or 2 more turns of patience would have been necessary in order to get this kill. Jerk decides that he has had enough, he does not have the power to break through the tank of newbie, and decides that it was enough for game number 2. Alright. On we go to the first game of the second round in the group. What are we? Group N. And newbie has again provided us with more entertainment. So game number 3 for newbie. Newbie versus Meat this time. We will see how they perform. Immediate land use ban, as is common for most people. Land use ban on the other side, there is absolutely no respect for the Juggler. To me, Juggler still aims to be a stronger person. I know that land use right now is extremely strong and will get only stronger with his 3C, but I will forever be afraid of Juggler's 3C that comes in next month. Aluna on the left side already indicates that newbie wants to move fast once again. There is a ban going on Claret to prevent some crazy combos of going forward. Will he meet? Ha! We will see. Joshua supports on the right side so that there's some fixed damage coming in. However, with that Juggler in place, Joshua's effectiveness drops down like a stone. Diahate on the left side, there is now again double faction buff possibilities. He can go any way he wants. And Iris would even support, oh my god, are we seeing a repeat of last game? Iris, Luna, Juggler, and Diahate as the free roaming killer. There's nothing that the opponent can do at this time of the day. Diharte can even go in on attack number 1, and if Diharte takes care of Joshua, for example, or of Bozel, there's very little that the opponent's side can do. We will see how it ends up. Maybe very clever positioning by Meat will prevent Diharte from being the beast that he is. However, I have to say, an Iris teleport forward right now is enough to just put everything in threaten mode. Joshua moves forward, buffs himself, both jugglers move forward and activate the guards. Sorry, one activates the guard, the other the faction buff. Starting the Iris comes through, offers the threat. Opponent has to react, however, there is absolutely nothing he can do to stop Diharte from reaching anyone he wants. He can go for Bozel, he can go for Chloe, he can go for Joshua, as we mentioned before, because he is right now the biggest threat. And with this, he can even go back and put a stun on someone. There's a black hole going on from Bozel, which could be even a little bit of a waste, because he won't be able to kill Diharte without proper buffing. This is also why I love Gizerov, because faction buff Bozel deals 50% extra damage. Diharte decides to run back, even though he's not in range of the guard, he is still also not in danger himself. There is a stun that Meat has to deal with, and then there's a faction buff coming way too late for this match. Diharte is basically back to a safe amount of heals, and Meat is interestingly not healing. I wonder if this cannot be dispelled. Oh my god, the double stuns, they're going everywhere. And at this point, there's nothing to stop Luna from taking her next victim, whomever that may be. With Raging, there's no chance that Bernie can survive this, and there's another kill. With the next round, that juggler is still asleep. Bozel would have to do a miracle here in order to get anything done. However, again, because juggler is there, this won't happen. Bozel is now dead, and the match would the match is over. Alright, I don't think at this point there's much you can do. Even though you have a juggler, AoE still hurts, especially juggler. So it's only a matter of time until this team is able to take care of. Newbie only has to wait some more turns, apply some heals, get some more attacks in, and that will be it. It's especially good because you get to make turns go, you get to pass the debuffs, and there's no second Bozel to make any problems. An arrest goes in, which is also a bypassing method for Diharte. I think it's a little bit overkill if you ask me. Between Ballista attack and the arrest from the Frostbrand, he is making sure that Juggler cannot defend people. Aurora Ring makes sure that that one-time debuff goes away. However, what more can you do at this point? More AoE is coming your way. Even though you cleared all the debuffs right now, they just show up again. Because Bozel is just a machine of debuffs. Another heal in order to make sure that no attacks gets responded with a Thorns, which would be at this point the only danger that Meat could offer. Like a very bad Thorns proc would probably get the kill on someone. However, once you leave Chloe alone, Chloe will die, and at this point there is nothing more you can do. Alright, we have still one match to go. And you will go for it. It turned out pretty easy to be able to hide who is the winner of the match, because I just have to click one button. And this time we see a juggler being banned. I actually love this idea way more. Landius shows up immediately, a Lancer Landius by Newey. He is on with the secret text. How to counter a Landius with Landius. Which is another reason why I hate this character. Juggler on the right, Landius on the left. We will see which tank prevails. There is immediately a Zerida pick in order to counter the inability to stop assassins from the right side. Elwyn is offered on the left side, thinking that the Landius is going to be a horse. However, he will be sorely disappointed and find a Lancer Landius he cannot kill. On the left side, we see another Diharte pick who is now going to get buffed by Zerida instead, because he's also Meteor. He could also choose to buff himself, but that's usually not the case. And more healer prevention on the right, even though there's still more healers to go. So at this point, Meat can choose if he wants another healer, one healer, or to choose more attacking characters, because now Bozel and Omega both gonna get banned and leaves him with even more healers. I think I would have chosen one of the two. Bosel on the left side makes sure that newbie also has the support of destroying everything in AoE and putting all the debuffs possible, especially because there's no healer, and usually Rachel does not have silence immunity. However, more and more do we see holy rings and bracers on Rachel's, because as long as Rachel is there... Oh wait, there's a Liana there. I missed that. My bad. Anyway, the move, oh my god. The match starts and the moves are being put on. The Dihate this time is a little bit further away from everything else. However, he's only preparing for the next turn because he's gonna get an attack blessing from Tiaris. And even though there was a breeze proc by Rachel, Rachel is in a terrible position. So it's perfectly reasonable for me to use the Act Again. And with the Act Again goes the Runic Void, and the Runic Void goes a billion damage on everyone. Another breeze, however, this may not be enough to save her. It was not enough. From an angry Zerida who decides to punch her to death. And here comes the problem. If people get to heal before suffering from these tiny hits, they will always be able to survive them. The best situation for a Rachel after having done her 3C, if there's no healer, is to just let some turns pass, because that's gonna be a lot of damage. However, there's a healer, so most of her damage will get negated by everything that's going on. Newbie only has to wait a few turns, maybe one, maybe two, and let the opponent put themselves in a bad position. Rachel is now dead, there's nothing else she can do, so her efforts were valiant, but not good enough. A good follow-up to what Rachel did would have been to use Listel. However, we have to say there was nothing that Meat could have done, because Listel was out of position and Rachel was going to die from the Ahate no matter what. So here we go, there's a sleep going on and there's now an attack blessing. Attack going on from the Ahate. The Ahate does not get the kill on Edwin. Very interesting. It's probably related to the amount of hits that he's taken from Rachel. But still, there's nothing that can be done to change the fact that he is already one unit down. Earthquake goes in after the healing from Liana. The most important part is to try to make as many debuffs as possible stick. And there is a clock trigger, so there's a little bit of danger. Therefore, it is important to try to make sure this Bosel is dead or silenced, as we see. That also works pretty well. With that reveal, we also see that Meat's Listel does not have a bracer on her own, so she punches herself for half health. And as we mentioned before, with a little bit of safety, you can just take the hits from the Runic Void and not be yourself in trouble. Zerida is still available for backstab. Backstab does not work on a target. Oh my god, the brutality. That is full health but has a bracer. However, no, never mind. From the aura of Juggler. However, Zerida is more than enough powerful to destroy Lancer Elwin as if it was nothing. The fact that she can move to a position that is very favorable and she's alone, her faction buff activates, extra damage comes in, there's nothing that he could have done. Touch of Death comes onto Zerida a little bit too late because she's now able to accumulate her buffs again. Pass on Listel in order to be able to do her AoE very soon, next turn I think, once again. And gets an Act Again from Liana in order to be able to surprise this turn and then do something else next turn, like for example moving back. However, there's an attack coming in from the Ahate, does not get the kill, however it's more than enough to cancel any type of strong hit from a Listel, at least until the next round comes in. Listel decides to move back because Zerida could have been an amazing kill right there. And with that said, the match starts getting a little bit smaller. However, there's too many assassins and Juggler cannot protect anyone or everyone at the same time. Listel gets healed back to full, however, this only will put her in a dangerous situation to get hit from Zerida once again. And we'll see how far down this Listel is brought. The answer is 0, because this Zerida has absolutely no problem in destroying everything in her sight. So what a brutal series of matches by Newey, picking a very similar team every time and showing that it's extremely effective still. Alright, we have covered a bunch of matches from Group N, and I will try one more thing before we go. I will try to look into the cards of the group. No, here. Yeah. So here's the thing. These are all the matches that Group N has played so far. We will see one day, or another day rather, if we cover the matches from Group L. Some of them I have casted, the others are just remaining hidden for now. Because Group L is playing like crazy. I think we are already in the 4th round of games, while most of the teams are still struggling to get their second game done. So that was pretty insane from Group L, of which of course I'm part of. But the thing is, there's way too many matches to cover right now. We have done more than enough for today, and I hope you have all enjoyed, because this was very trying, but also very entertaining for me. If you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're watching this live, please let me know in the comments, or comment yourself right now. What do you think about this format of casting, and if you would like to see something a little bit different, or more of this, because it was entertaining for me to do, and I hope it was entertaining for you to watch. Go do your joint battles, and I will see you the next time. Goodbye.